Did I set this up correctly? Apparently I'm live. So this is a test. Me and Gemma are planning to do something in the future, which involves some planning and stuff like that for our Florida trip, and we thought we'd live stream it. So I bought a webcam today. It's one of those moments when you go, I need a webcam, I'll just pop to Tesco, and you go to the shelf, and on the shelf there's a Tesco, well, a Logitech webcam, and it's like 75% off. Couldn't plan that better. But anyway, I'm going to see what I can do here. This game is Planet Coaster. We won't be streaming games normally, but it's just a test run. I don't know if the volumes are right yet, because I'm still playing around. I think it feels a bit loud, but I think it's just my end. There's so many wires here, I'm wired into the computer. Look at that, it's perfect. It's got my head. The guy in the bottom right corner, this guy. I've noticed it's not picking up the mouse. I need to double check that. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Anfield Scouts 31. We're good too. Both of us are good. Gemma's in work today, so I've just said I'm just trying this out for the first time in a long time. I used to do it a long time ago, but things have changed since then. So let's see. I'm going to jump into the career mode and have a play at Planet Coaster for a half an hour. Yeah, we'll just start something at random. So eventually I'll get a chance to watch this back and make sure I didn't make too many mistakes or swear too much. Can I make the chat a little bit bigger so I can actually see it? That would be nice. Oh, Chester Zoo on the 14th. What day is that? We're going, well, we'll be going there and thereabouts over the course of the holidays. A little bit less when it's summer holidays, it gets really busy. Understandably so. We'd probably be in on the 13th, the day before, maybe the 12th. I don't know. Depends, yeah. Depends when Gemma's free. Orlando, Florida in 32 days. I am gigantically jealous. Tips for staying at Rosen Inn Point. You've picked a really good spot. You're right on the on iDrive there, so that's great. You'll be able to see like loads of restaurants and stuff there. You might have seen from our previous vlogs. I know we didn't record as many restaurants in 2015, but we have on the last trip that we've been posting, and they're all walking distance from Rosen Point too. You're just at the other end, so where we were a bit further north, but you can get to both get from both hotels quite easily to where we were and the Eye. Yeah, Charlie, we do like to go midweek a lot, like, you know, when the schools are in. If we get a chance, a couple of days off work, we'll sometimes pop to the zoo. And what is this world? Devastation. Yeah, we'll have a good day at the zoo then. We like going on rainy days too, because the animals tend to be a bit more active and yeah, a little bit quieter because people get put off. Let's see. Achieve a scenery rating of 50. Reach a monthly profit of rides of $3,000. Let's see what we can do. I apparently don't have any items. Well, that's a good start. I've had this game for quite a while. I just haven't played it as much as I used to play Roller Coaster Tycoon. We start with a thrill ride. I should also probably make some money on this as well. Pay for all this. Oh, you really haven't left me with much to build with here. If I keep looking down there, it's because that's where the chat is. So I'm reading the chat. Hello, Sarah. This is Planet Coaster, which is probably the spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. It was built by the same people, but they did it in-house rather than using Atari. Oh, the Dine with the Astronauts package we did in 2013. It was awesome. We had a really good day. We were lucky. We managed to get to go into the vehicle assembly building as well. But we had then ended up having to get fast track to do the sort of greeting the astronaut. I think we met Bob Springer, was it? Someone like that. A really nice guy. Did a really good talk too. So should be a good day out. That definitely one of my favourite days out in Kennedy Space Centre. We do tend to only do it every other trip, although we probably miss it out on the Disney trip because we've already got plenty planned for that. I'm literally not sure what I'm supposed to be building here because there are no rides. This is going to take time as well. Let's check out the scenery on some of these rides. That's fine at 73. That one's not as good. We'll do some scenery. This is going to be half an hour of placing bushes in Roller Coaster Tycoon. Sorry, Planet Coaster. Even I get them mixed up still. Fantastic bush placement there. Cutting edge stuff, that. I just placed bushes on the fence. That is not good scenery placement there. With the Dine with Astronauts tour, yeah, you get a meal. Well, we certainly got a meal at the time. It was a sort of a buffet style meal, lots of desserts and stuff. It was really good. Loads of food to pick from, like I think it was chicken, fish, other things, vegetarian options too. We have never done an airboat ride in all the times we've been to Florida. It's something we really keep meaning to do and never get around to doing. So we will do it at some point in the future. Hoping to get a view of the Burkup, and the rhinos are viewable most of the time. But yes, he is. Ike is difficult to spot. He just sits with Mum all the time. But the other one has been showing pretty well. Burkup's actually good. If you're patient, you'll get to see the Burkup. She tends to be over the back of the enclosure. This is Chester Zoo, by the way. Well, that looked fun. There we go. My scenery rating has now improved. I'm kind of concentrating on chat and playing this game at the same time, and I'm not sure what I'm doing here. Scenery rating, I'm getting though. Theft reported. That's shocking. This person's had money stolen off them. That doesn't happen in theme parks. Am I any closer to that ride yet? I actually want to build a ride. That would be a nice thing to do in a game where the whole idea is that you build fun fair rides. Is it going to let me build a shop? Can I afford to build a shop? The 6-shot saloon really does not fit in with the theming of this place. What is the theming of this place? Like futuristic, isn't it? Oh, I can't build a shop. Talk about choosing the worst map to play on the game. The first time I've live streamed in about 4 years, and I pick a terrible map on a fantastic game. Ponderosa by the Rose. Oh, I don't know. We've never been to Ponderosa. Check Google Maps. I'm sure it'll give you some information on there. I've never flown into Sanford either. We have looked at it at options in the past, but we've always just gone, oh, we'll just go to MCO. Although I hear this summer MCO has been really, really busy because of the upgrades that they're doing to the airport. It was relatively busy when we flew in May, but acceptable. It was just, there was a lot of construction work going on. We did see one of the new trams though. The trams from the airport to, like, the main gate to the airport and that. I love the trams. I think one of my cats is trying to come through the wall. Either that or it's learned to drum. I'm really cautious of moving too much here as well because I've got a cable to my headset. I've got a cable to the microphone in front of me. I've just clipped the webcam on the monitor that could just go flying at any time. Yeah, with this game, it is kind of. I'll tell you what, if I just quickly save, I'll just save this game and come back to it later. Exit to main menu. If I click the game, you'll end up on the desktop. So yeah, in here you've got you've a career mode, and here are the current available careers. So I think this one's a slightly more Disney one. I think I've actually got this one. I've opened it up as a sandbox, and I can show you a little bit more. Yeah, the graphics on this game are awesome. You do need a fairly meaty PC, but I think you'll be all right with Ash's PC, won't you? But yeah, it's great fun. This game, you get really lost in the detail on this game. I mean, I used to do it on Roller Coaster Tycoon 2 all the time, but with this one, there's like really, really cool freeform building tools on it, which I might be able to show you. I'll see if this map's a little bit more demonstratable than the last one, which was literally just build some trees. Oh, look at this. How flamboyant. You can also do this, which you could do in Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I love that they kept the cartoony characters though. Outback Steakhouse is sort of moderately priced, I would say. I mean, if you go to, I think there's like Charlie's Steakhouse, which is more expensive. Again, a good suggestion that we found with this, and we always do, is we have a night in front of the computer. We get the websites up and look at the menus for all the different restaurants. Tips for visiting Chester Zoo. Don't go in summer, but since you already are, no, it's not too bad. It's really handling the crowds really well at the minute because of the islands section. My tips would be: don't try to see everything. Be patient. Make a list of your favourite animals and concentrate on those. Yeah, this is a Steam title. Frontier used to be that you would buy them externally from Steam. You would buy them on Frontier's website, but I think this one went directly through Steam. But yeah, the construction facilities in this game are crazily detailed. So we can have walls. We can take and we can start to get really into the detail of building things. I'm going to build a wall. So if you wanted a shop front on this, you can pop one in there. That actually looks a little bit low, but you know, serving very, very small people. If I go quiet, it's because I just get into the building on this and I'll spend ages just building random bits of houses and stuff. It's like what I'm supposed to be building rights. So this isn't the best example, but here we go. We can do... There's a Chief Beef burgers. Obviously you can add more detail to your buildings than this. So if you want air conditioning for our Chief Beef workers, they can put the air conditioning units on the side there. It does really get stupidly detailed. Some lanterns. Obviously keeping with the theming of the air conditioning units there. Oh, of course you need signs, don't you, to tell you what to buy. Let me see if there's any good signage here. Oh, see, they've added more things since I last played this. You can add display screens now. Yeah, that doesn't fit. Here we go. This is not in keeping with the Disney aesthetic, is it? We can have some nice windows. Prison window, I don't know. I've never been to Dave and Buster's, but I do really want to go. It's one of them. You go and there are so many things to do. That's obviously some things then eventually do fall by the wayside. But it does look fun. I've seen some vlogs from, I think, a few from the Cheat Seats went there and it looked really good fun. And what else have we got? Next off to Florida, we announced it on our last trip on the quick vlogs. We're we're going next May for 2 weeks, and we're staying on property for the first time ever. So we're obviously, understandably, really excited about that. We're staying in the, let me get this right because I always get it wrong, the Riverside Resort, which we've had a walk around and really enjoyed. So we can't wait to get over there. How do I spin things around on this game? It was one of those we decided, well, if we wander down to the resort we're staying in, this roof doesn't fit in at all, does it? And we don't like it, there's time for us to sort of cancel it, but or not cancel it, but change it. And we loved it, so it was an easy decision to make. Hi, Apothecary John. I'm not used to running streams that people actually watch. I used to have a gaming channel, like a really small that nobody watched gaming channel, and I used to run the occasional live stream on that, and it would just be me talking to an empty room, which I think is kind of the case for a lot of gaming channels. It's really difficult to sort of get any following on that sort of thing, which is why the Florida thing was a no-brainer for us, because it's like, well, we really want to do our holidays, we want to video them, because we've been a few times now and we've not got any footage to show from it. It was just like a case of, well, while we're there, we might as well put them on YouTube and let other people watch them. I do have a PlayStation 4. It's a bit poorly, but it still sort of works. It kind of overheats occasionally. It's one of those things that I'd probably replace it if I wasn't already like saving up for the next holiday as well. But yeah, I do have one. Yeah, the Riverside Resort, we really loved it. It was so chilled out there. We liked the pools. We went to the French Quarter Resort as well, which was also awesome. So we're like, best of both worlds. We can walk between the two and go and get beignets. That's assuming Sarah will let us. And yeah, the Discovery Cove video is genuinely probably one of my favourite things that I've uploaded. I have so much more footage as well. I'm tempted to do a round 2 with just sort of underwater footage, because I really enjoyed editing that. If I'd have had the sound on the camera, because obviously I was using the GoPro, which is sealed and the sound's really bad, but if you'd have had the sound on, if it was possible, when I was under the water and the fish was swimming so close to me, I was giggling like a lunatic. I was like, it was so much fun. I have to say thanks to Gemma for that, because that was, although it was our anniversary, it was kind of a surprise birthday present for me as well. See, I'm getting seriously into building that. I don't know what I'm building. It looks horrendous, but you know. Have your zoo vlogs, of which I have seen every one and loved it. Yeah, I do enjoy doing the zoo vlogs. They don't get as many views, but they're kind of like, I always wanted to do that because obviously we spend a lot of weekends in the zoos. The zoo thing for us started out as a kind of a, we weren't sure what to do with our weekends, so we decided to pop to the zoo. And then we're like, well, we're going to the zoo, we might as well try becoming a member. And from there it just grew into, for a while we were literally in the zoo every weekend, to the point where the staff were just like, not you again. We've kind of calmed down in more recent years, but just because, you know, you do after a little while and you've been a lot. What am I doing here? Making an absolute disaster. Now no one can get to the chief beef. Burgers are off the menu. That'll do. We do want to do some zoo videos of food zoos that we haven't visited for a long time. I really want to get down to Welsh Mountain Zoo. So we've not been there in a long time. So that should be fun. It wasn't our favourite zoo the first time we visited, but apparently it's had quite a bit of work done on it, so we'd like to see it again. We did do a trip in 2014 before we regularly vlogged. We went to Scotland and visited Edinburgh Highland Wildlife Park. That was awesome. I really liked Highland Wildlife Park. I've heard of the Eat and Play cards. I've never tried them myself, but I mean, if it's going to save you money, it does make sense, doesn't it? We tend to be quite off the cuff with our meals as well. I mean, it's probably going to kill us on the next trip because I haven't mentioned this on any of the videos yet. But Gemma just cracked the other day and added table service to our booking, so we'll be spending quite a lot of time planning meals, and that's what this streaming setup's for. We're gonna thinking of possibly live streaming the nights when we sit in front of the computer and try and pick what food we're going to eat. So it could be really interesting. It could be a bit boring, but we'll see how it works. It's worth a try, isn't it? Oh, that is a pretty good deal then. 25% off and 12 quid. Yeah, you could probably easily make your money back on it on even like a moderately priced restaurant there. What kind of places does that allow you a discount in? Be interested to know. Planning for your future. Should I build a ride as well instead of just flying around looking at stuff? Let's see what we've got. How much money? Oh, I've got unlimited money. Fantastic. Let's see what we've got here. Let's see. Now, my favourite are inverted roller coasters, always have been. And I think inverted coasters are in. I really want to try one of these, actually. They've just built one at Fun Spot in Kissimmee. Probably not quite as big as this. And I'm tempted to sort of book some car hire or get an Uber and try it. It's only a small one, but it looks fun. Can I not build this anywhere? Why not? Game, why are you stopping me? Alright, let's start with something small. That's the Steam Blueprint. It all has Steam Blueprint, this, so you can download more rides online. If you're terrible at building them like I am. What is this? The one thing I would say about this is you really do need to concentrate on the control system because it's it can be quite complicated. And oh, I bet there's more limitations on this map, isn't there? Like height of rides or something like that. Theft reported. Oh well. There's loads of staff management in here as well. You can do fireworks shows as well. I've seen some awesome fireworks shows, like Disney-esque things going on in the background. Star Wars Land, what do I think? I can't wait to see Star Wars Land. We're already discussing future trips with like family members from my sister was in our last video. She's planning future trips as well. So hopefully at some point we'll be able to see Star Wars Land as well. Obviously, I like a bit of Star Wars. I'm not like the obsessive Star Wars fan, but I do like watching it and I like taking part in some of the. I had some fun with the Stormtroopers on the 2016 trip and stuff like that. And obviously Kylo Ren, who was a bit upset with me, but there we go. Here we go, let's build a roller coaster. See how much of a roller coaster I can build on this map. We've had a few comments about my obsession with telling people that apes are apes and not monkeys. But you know, it's an easy thing to get wrong. I'm not being mean or anything. It's, you know, I don't expect everyone to know every species, but I just can't help making fun of it anyway. We have had some absolute crazy mentions from people in zoos. We once saw. When we went to Welsh Mountain Zoo, there were some people who looked who were looking at some, what were they, buffy-head capuchins? No, I don't even think they were buffy-headed capuchins. They were emperor tamarins, and they went, "Oh look, it's them cappuccino monkeys." It's like, where'd you get cappuccino monkeys from? The only thing we could think is emperor tamarins have got like a sort of mustache going on, and they thought it was maybe a milk mustache or something. And I also went to Nosy Safari Park once, and someone pointed to, there were 2 or 3 snakes wrapped in a bundle on a log, and they went, "That can't be a snake, it's got legs." It was the tails of the two of the snakes just hanging down. They thought they were legs. It does make me chuckle. Hi Debs. Toy Story Land is rumoured to open next summer, so we're hoping, you never know, we might get some preview days, but they didn't do that with Pandora, I think, so we'll see what happens. We're not too fussed though. Oh, what am I doing? I've heard Malayan tapirs be confused with pandas. Denny's, McDonald's, Tony Roma's. Tony Roma's we really like. Johnny Rockets is good as well. Johnny Rockets is pretty cheap and they do really good hot dogs and burgers and stuff like that. The pub in Point, we've been there before. That's nice. They do a lot of different beers in there, so obviously that's a favourite of mine. Senor Frogs we've not been to. TGI's we have been to and we enjoy that. Never been to the Titanic exhibition either. So this roller coaster is a thing. I kind of want it to helix up here. There we go. Maybe not so much. Is it going to get over there and through this? It's definitely not going to get over that part. I'm not a roller coaster builder by trade, so I know some people get super obsessed with the layout of the coasters. Yeah, I'm designing a roller coaster in the game Planet Coaster, which is, as I previously mentioned, it's kind of a spiritual successor to Roller Coaster Tycoon, but it was built by the people who built Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, Frontier, who also do Elite Dangerous, which is one of my favourite games, although I haven't played it in a little while. Where am I going with this roller coaster? Concentration mode now. Fortunately, when you've done all this, you can smooth it out, so things like this that'll break your neck won't be quite so uncomfortable. You can also enable snapping, which makes this sort of thing a bit easier. There we go. Oh, we're going in at a weird angle there. Just pop it around that way. Hit some friction brakes and hit autocomplete. That's not what I was intended to happen. I think that tree might be in the way. Yeah, can I stop building roller coaster now? Thanks. We need to get rid of you. There we go. Maybe that'll do. Smooth all. Hang on, I need to do this, don't I? This is the worst roller coaster. Okay. You can test them. Can we go? These cast members are terrible. So with Titanic exhibition, because we live in Liverpool, there's quite, well, at one point there was quite a lot of Titanic things going on, and obviously we can see things like the White Star building, which is now a hotel. Oh, there we go, start test, that might help. Yeah, I use a lot of pre-made roller coasters in this game, but the nice thing with this is because you've got that Blueprint Steam thing as well, you can just go and download other people's roller coasters, which saves me a lot of trouble, because you go like, oh, I really like Nemesis on Towers, for example. I'll see if someone's built it online or something similar. What is this roller coaster? Are we going to get through the corkscrew even? Yeah, we did. We're not going to get up this hill though, are we? Oh, just about. I'd be asking for my money back off this roller coaster if I'm honest. But it works. What's the current price on Planet Coaster? I don't know. I pre-ordered it. You got a few little extras, I think. Let me just have a quick look. $29.99 at the minute, this. But keep an eye out, because it does go in sales on Steam quite a lot. Anyway, that roller coaster works. It's not great, but it works. Okay, we're done. Next thing, we need to build an entrance. And an exit. And connect the entrance to the bath. You can do things like fast passes and all sorts for the rides. That's not a very good queue, is it? Still not a very good queue. Now we're going up. Not sure that this path really works. It's a roller coaster path for what I'm building here. It looks okay. Oh, the coaster and the Death Star, was that... What's the guy's name? There's a guy who did a lot of construction for this game, like basically that Frontier ended up using for promotional material because he was that good at it and he spent so long building stuff. Silverette, I think his name is. He's absolutely awesome. I do tend to sit there and watch YouTube gamers playing games like this, and that's sort of my relaxing thing to do of an evening. Hang on. We can now build on a grid which matches this station, so we can start to say theme our entrance to the roller coaster. Not sure a brick built roller coaster entrance is the thing for this particular part, but it'll do. Obviously we can't build these bits because they would hit the car, but we can then build these ones instead. They've thought of everything. What is that? That's a mess. There we go. This is when I get quiet with these, when I'm doing the building, because I'm super concentrated on actually placing all the bits of the station. I start to get like obsessive about things like, there's no wheelchairs in this game, but all of my parks tend to have like no stairs because I don't want people to have to go upstairs. I kind of think they should add that though, because it's an extra challenge for like park design, making it accessible to everyone, and it's a realistic challenge as well. What have we got here? Classic brick wall. I want something low. Fine, that'll do. Oh, I keep pressing that wrong. There we go. Orlando Eye is... I don't know if you saw the video that I posted where we went to... I think it was the Wings place. What was it called? Buffalo Wild Wings. That night I think was a weekend. It was close to a weekend, and the place was heaving. Orlando Eye. It was really busy. I mean, like, not unpleasantly busy, but on our 2015 trip, I'm forgetting now, we went there and it was dead of an evening. This time the difference was just unreal. It's like loads of people were there, and there are sort of bars and nightclubs. I think the Tin Roof Bar is there, stuff like that. We tend to be so tired of an evening that we don't stay out to sort of nightclub levels of nights out. We did have a couple of late nights at BJ's Brew House, which is a little bit further up from the Orlando Eye, which was just good atmosphere and nice place to have a few beers. But we tend to find we're a bit too tired to stay out too late. I'm back to me building. It's not symmetrical. Water ride. There is a water ride already in this map, by the way. There is a log flume as well, I think, as far as the standard rides on this. There's go-karts. Oh, that reminds me, I need to have a look at this because I've not seen it yet. I've ever got the go-karts on here yet. Am I going to be able to fit a go-kart track in here because they're huge? I added this. It's a downloadable extra. You can pay a couple of quid for this. And I've not seen it yet. There's more room over here. Terrible go-kart track, but purely for the example. Can I not drive it? Basically, the cars are Back to the Future DeLoreans, and I thought I need that. I absolutely need that. There's a Knight Rider one and a Munsters one. I went with the Back to the Future one. I can't believe it won't let me ride though. I'm sure it will if I... Oh, there it is. There is a cheat you can enter to actually drive the cars as well. Stepping off the plane into the heat as well is tends to be one of those you're like, oh, it's so warm, it's nice, and then 10 minutes later, it's too warm, air conditioning. But I'm trying to think what it was. Oh, the first time we ever arrived in Florida, I actually have a tiny bit of video footage, but it's not usable. This car's going nowhere, is it? The first time we went to Florida, it was absolutely throwing it down. First night. So we got there and thought, is this what we're going to have for 2 weeks? So the first full day, we did our usual, what would become our usual of first day in SeaWorld. And it was overcast all day, and we were hungover because we got a bit excited the night before. And it was overcast, and look on Gemma's face, she just thought we were going to have 2 whole weeks of just rain. And then after that, I don't think it rained once. Oh, it rained once as we left Kennedy Space Center. And literally as we got into the bus, because we didn't drive then, we got like a day trip bus. We jumped onto the bus, it started raining, and the bus drove out of the frame storm. We never saw it again. So for the first holiday is still probably the best weather we've ever had in Florida. I've opened this ride, but no one can get to it. It won't let me build it. I'm going to have to destroy more path and see what happens. Intersecting terrain. Why won't you let me build it? Why? If I build this part first and then connect the rest up, that might work. This path's not in keeping with the theme of the park. This was supposed to be half an hour, and I've got into this now. I better check the time. I'm supposed to be picking Gemma up in a bit. No, I've got a couple of hours yet. Not that I'm going to be here for a couple more hours. It'll turn into a hostage situation. As in, I won't let anyone leave. Okay, that's the worst go-kart track ever created. I'm going to try and see if I can make that a little bit more interesting. I've still got the... Where am I going with these? I'm going from the worst go-kart track ever created to the longest. Flatten that. I'm basically building Fun Spot now. I was kind of hoping to sort of nip underneath there, but it's not worked. Oh, hang on. This is getting a bit silly now. If I hit autocomplete now, will that really confuse it? Ah, it failed. Which means I could probably can't connect that back up. It's the most death-defying go-kart track ever created. This game also has the most chilled out music of any game I've played in quite a while. I do get quite anxious about getting through security for some reason. I always have. So yeah, for me, getting off the aeroplane and getting through security, I think I hit that point with that tram where you transfer from the gates to the main building. That's when I get really excited because I know I'm in Florida. That is a go-kart track. We can add some theme into this as well. Again, I've not seen this yet. Here we go. Yeah. I think possibly because I do a lot of research into the drive before I leave as well. I tend to calm down when I'm back in my own control as far as traveling is concerned. So when I get to the airport and I've picked the car, I'll be stressful getting the car ready because just making sure I know the controls of the car. Because I think on this trip with the Mustang, it was only a day after that we got there that I realised where the lights were, which was a bit silly thinking about it because it was a Ford and they all seem to be in the same sort of spot. They certainly were with the, what's it called, the Cougar, whatever they call it over there. I had a couple of years before. So once I'm back in control of where I'm going, I don't tend to stress the journey from the airport to the resort so much, purely because the first time I did it, I went the wrong way, and I just went, oh, this is bad, I've gone the wrong way. Just pulled onto a car park, got the sat nav out, checked everything, made sure I was okay, had a minute, regrouped, and then set off again, and pretty much uneventful. Still went the wrong way, but it was uneventful. It was like the wrong way, but onto a road. I was basically driving along going, this isn't the right road, but it's called Sand Lake, and I'm staying on just off West Sand Lake. So if I stay on Sand Lake and go west, in theory I should get to West Sand Lake, and sure enough it worked like that. I think driving around Disney is the worst at the minute, to be honest. On our first 2013 trip, we hired a Jeep. So I was used to driving a little Mazda, got a big Jeep. The first 2 days of driving, I was like this with the steering wheel. I was like, I'm surprised there weren't dents in the top of the steering wheel from me grabbing it. But what I did was I just went, right, first full day of driving, I'm going to go somewhere a bit further afield. And I headed north. At the time, I didn't realise this, but the road north from from International Drive goes past downtown Orlando and onto possibly one of the most dangerous roads in America. You won't have to drive that route unless you're specifically heading somewhere like Sanford or anything like that. And if you take your time, you'll be absolutely fine. Just traffic obviously is a big problem there because you're going right past downtown. But I did that drive, got there, and I was like, that wasn't so bad. And from that point on, I think just because I threw myself into driving a bit further afield than I originally intended to, that worked really well for me. I think then I had about a day off driving, and then the next time we ended up going, I think probably that first trip when we hired the car, we did more driving than we've done on a lot of other trips. So we were over to Tampa at least twice. Was it twice? I don't know. We went over to Lowry Park. Yes, we went to Lowry Park Zoo one day, and we went to Big Cat Rescue and Clearwater Marine Aquarium, which is where Winter the Dolphin is, on one day. So we did loads of driving. I'm looking down at the chat again. But driving in America is probably easier than driving in the UK. You're driving an auto, so it's like a go-kart. You've got a drive button and a stop button. And after I think a day or two, I just got so relaxed with driving there as well, and I haven't really looked back. It became sort of less of an option for us to not hire a car than it did. You know, I prefer to have a car, so even this time though we're staying on site, there's part of me is tempted to get a car regardless, even if it's just for 7 days, because going and getting like groceries and stuff like that is not going to be an option for us, and it would be cool to just jump in the car and drive. The trouble is, when I look at cars online, I go, budget car, yeah, that's cheap. That so I can get that for 4 days for 100 quid or whatever. Dodge Challenger. Oh, Kennedy's an awesome drive. It's honestly, Kennedy is not a problem because you're heading east towards the coast. There's so much. Once you get beyond sort of International Drive, you barely see a car. It's a really nice drive out there. I think I did a time lapse on one of our videos. If not, I've probably got the footage somewhere anyway. And I like driving out to go to the East Coast because it's so quiet. The East Coast is quieter than the West Coast because you've got Tampa over on the West Coast, and I find once you get beyond International Drive, it's just a flat, straight road. The bridge, I think it opened once when we went there, and it was a red light comes on, stop. Simple. I haven't posted the video of this yet, but I drive over a bridge on this trip that is way bigger than the one on the West Coast. Sorry, on the East Coast. It's the Sunshine Skyway Bridge, and it's huge. And I basically saw a picture of it and thought I really need to drive that bridge. So of course we drive along, and we had a really nice day in Tampa. Again, video upcoming, so spoilers. Jumped in the car, sorry, not in Tampa, in Clearwater. We jumped in the car and I went, I'm going to drive over the bridge. It's not far from where we are now. We'll do it. So we set off driving, and literally as we got to the bridge, just behind the bridge was this biblical storm. So I'm driving along going, I'm not so sure I want to drive over this bridge anymore. And we drove into the storm. The bridge was fine, drove into the storm, and it was a Florida storm. And then we slowed down to 40, and everyone else did. That tend to know when it's bad, when people do slow down. But we enjoyed it. It was a good day out. It was probably one of the best days. We had these trips where we're very relaxed. We do tend to have like our best days because we're just chilled and we just do fun things like go to zoos and stuff like that. And such a relaxed pace as well, which is not something you can always have on a Florida holiday. Yes. The bridge with the story behind it, well, not that bridge, but the bridge that one replaced, there was actually a pretty bad accident on there. And you can still see parts of the old bridge, and now it's fishing piers and stuff like that. But that bridge is just, it's a thing to see. It's so big. Clearwater we really liked. We only spent sort of an afternoon there. We did go and visit the beach, but not the one at Clearwater. Clearwater was one of our best days. You'll see why when I put the footage up, because it's some of the best video footage I've ever taken, I think. Hi, Hot Dog and Donut. Have we been to the Keys? No, we've not been to the Keys. Initial plan was that in 2019 there was a possibility we might be visiting the Keys because it's my birthday. That's sort of up in the air at the minute. We might change our minds and do something different instead with family. So we'll see what happens there. But I definitely do want to do the Keys at some point in the future. What is this ride? Whatever it is, it's not moving. Probably should put a bit more attention to where I'm putting these rides. It looks like I've just got bored and thrown them everywhere. I'm struggling to think of anywhere I've driven in Florida where I would say I would never drive there again. Oh, there was one. We drove to Lowry Park Zoo, which we drove to on our 2015 trip, and my sat-nav decided rather than go in the quickest route, it would go the most direct and took us on to this strip of basically pawn shops and bail bond shops, and that we locked the door on that one because it just didn't feel quite as clean cut as some of the areas. But we got through it absolutely fine. We just had that moment of, should we really be coming this way? And then the weird thing with some, like when you get out to sort of the more sticky areas of Florida, is like the entrance to some of the the freeways just becomes like, is this an entrance or is it a dirt track? Because it was like this road that we drove back on, it was like gates on it that were open, and it looked like I was driving into someone's yard. But no, it got us back onto the motorway. Lowry Park Zoo is a bit further. It's further north of Tampa. It's a nice day out though. This park is an absolute mess. What have we got? Water rides here. The rides do take a little while though. That's an interesting choice for log flume. Straight underground. Oh no, it's not. It's just the graphics, the way it was drawn. It looked like it was going underground. I think this is high enough for a log flume. One thing we genuinely did struggle to do with driving in Florida was find anywhere where the roads were sort of breathtakingly nice. And it's something I'd like to do. I just don't know if Florida's the place to do it, or if it's, I need to be thinking about driving in another state. Bearing in mind, I think because a lot of Florida is quite flat as well, so you don't get those sort of vast expanse views of nice things to see. I love driving countryside roads and things like that. What am I doing here? Splashdown. Oh, right, it's a splashdown. That's why it's not going to fit. So we did try and find some roads over by Kennedy, which were supposedly really nice roads to drive along. It turned out to be a housing estate. I mean, it was nice. I'd love to live there, but it wasn't what I was thinking I wanted to see when I was going out for a nice Sunday drive. Standard track. Oh, it's just a. I was going to say, was it going to do a Journey to Atlantis style roller coaster track? Because that'd be fun. I wonder if that's in this game. I'll have to look for that. Yeah, you can't put roller coasters through trees. What have I built? Oh, it's stuck in a tree again. You hate it when your log flume gets stuck in a tree. That's better. Can I auto complete this yet? Probably not, because it's a right mess. Concentration has risen. I've gone quiet again. That's one thing that we're considering with the next trip as well. Is one of our friends has suggested that you can get food delivered to your hotel room from groceries. So rather than renting a car, we're going to do that. I just can't remember the name of the company that does it. Just like the idea of turning up and food being delivered for me. That said, with the dining plan and the quick serve meals and so on, I think we'll probably be alright. Blooming hope so. Garden groceries, yes, that's it. I'm going to write that down. I was joking to my my dad yesterday that the day one we'll arrive and there'll be a van driving onto the car park that you'll just audibly hear rattling with all the beer bottles in it for me. The guy who runs the bar in the hotel will be like, "Ah, the beer delivery's here for the day." No, that's just my beer. Oh, cool. Oh, Amazon Prime too. That's a good point. I've got Amazon Prime. Now I've got multiple options for delivering beer to the hotel if one of them refuses. Animal ambassadors in SeaWorld. We saw a snake. They brought one of them. One of the snakes was out, but yeah, not as many as there used to be because of the new ride being built, which is a shame because we quite like that part. Yeah, I connected it in the end. That took time. This station's a bit slow and short though. I was meaning to check to see if they'd moved the animal ambassadors to like another part of the park. It's just one of the things that slipped our minds. We actually went to SeaWorld quite a few times. We got to the end of the holiday this time and we'd kind of done everything we wanted to do at all the parks, and we were contemplating having a really quiet time, like a few relaxed days, and just. But then we were like, well, we've had quite a lot of relaxed days on this trip. We've literally had days where we did nothing. So we just went all out and ended up going to Universal again, and to be honest it was probably a really good decision because we had really good days. So we found some oddities with Universal with regards to crowds. There was a lot of school groups, like huge sort of like graduation groups there, so the parks were really busy. which was... Sorry, I'm concentrating on ride pricing here. Which at first was a bit off-putting with regards to Universal, but I think we just timed it like on probably... I think there's a trip coming up where we timed it pretty bad and it was just super busy and we ended up just going to one of the bars on City Walk. Yeah, we've had some really good trips with crowd levels in mid-September. Gemma prefers that as well because of the Halloween Horror Nights thing as well. Which obviously is not something I choose to do, but... There we go, a water ride. Well, let's see what it goes like. Oh, we cheated on the lift hill there. I should probably add more theme into these. Some good tips there on the garden grocer. I will consider that. I mean, the other option for us is, if it becomes financially viable, we might just look at getting a cheap rental car for a couple of days and just driving out. In which case I'll probably plan to do that roller coaster at Fun Spot that I really want to do as well. I mean, there is another part of us is literally saying, let's stay within the Disney bubble. We've never done it before. We've always sort of stayed off-site. It might be fun to just do the whole thing Disney. Well, that was fun. I'm going to trigger some events on this, I think. Yeah, Halloween Horror Nights for me, I've always been... I don't know how I'll react to all the jump scares, because I hate jump scares and horror films with jumpy bits in. And I don't go, oh, and scream or anything. I just go quiet and get angry. And I don't want to do that in Halloween Horror Nights and get into trouble. Thanks for that, that sounds fun. We'll just put in a big order for you. You've had a van? We have a few options available to us, so I do appreciate that. That's really nice. We actually ended up going to the outlets on this trip probably twice, I think, which is once more than we would normally go. We did quite a bit of shopping and bought quite a few extra things that we wouldn't normally buy. We had some pretty good luck in the Disney clearance stalls, which they're on the haul video. Yeah, you'll regret offering to go and pick us up groceries after the third trip. Right, can I add some triggered elements on here? Display sequence, special effects. What is this stuff? Fireworks. Can we trigger fireworks to go off when people go down the hill? That sounds safe. Go on, there we go. Let's see what happens. Activate on trigger. I need a trigger for that, don't I? Edit track. How do you do the triggers? Maintenance here. It's on here somewhere. Edit trigger sequence. Make trigger sequence. Add trigger. Stop doing that. That's really annoying. Oh, I know what you've done. I need to drag that. Pop it there. Connect objects to a trigger. That didn't work, did it? Did it? Confirm. Okay, that's done it. Now can I have a log flume, please? Ride photos in this? That's a good question. I don't know. It certainly wasn't in there in day one. I don't know if they've added it. Because I used to love having ride photos in the stupidest places in the last one. Handily, since I'm not under any financial limitation on this game, I can just close a roller coaster down and have a look. Station, track supports, banking offset. No, it doesn't look like you can add ride photos. Unless it's in... No, those are triggerable sequences. Oh. You can do like gift shops and stuff, so everyone ended up walking around in hats with balloons. Okay, that firework might be a little excessive. You can change. You can also add the. I think more accurately with the trigger, the more useful things would be stuff like this. So then I could do the ride and say, edit trigger sequence, add a second trigger. We'll do that one here. Connect objects, U and U. Oops, U. Confirm. And if you're not wet enough on the ride now, we should get fireworks and then a really terrible splash. That was disappointing. I just imagine you driving around in a car just full of beer and pizza now. Although I did read to get some extra money and thought you may have started your own delivery service for beer and pizza on site, which is not a bad idea. Water spout large. Okay, maybe that'll be better. I'm going to get this triggerable thing to work well. How do I trigger things I can't see? Oh, that's fine. Connect objects. Now I can see them. Got it. Confirm. So the next time something comes around, we should get 3 events occurring. Okay, so the buses we got from the hotel were free buses, so we saved $20 each day on car parking. And what I like to do at the end of the, well, certainly in the later days of that trip, we kind of called into Margaritaville and had a few margaritas and beers, and obviously I couldn't do that if I was driving. So we used the Mustang to travel out to places where public transport couldn't get us to, and in the end we ended up using it to go to SeaWorld as well, because the iRide trolleys we just didn't fancy taking them this time. But it's a good question. We just sort of whatever we felt like on the day, that's how we did it. We certainly put some miles on the Mustang on the Tampa trip and the zoo trips that we did. We've actually got another, I think on our next, possibly on our next video, we went to Central Florida Zoo, and then we went to not Dade City, that's, what's the other place? The park. It was the one that Crispy Small were at with Tim Tracker. The reason I mention is because the morning that they went there, we ended up going there in the afternoon, so we must have crossed paths by about an hour or so. What was it called, that place? Anyway, it was one of we'd always wanted to go to one of the state parks, so we chose that one, had a walk around and an explore, and didn't get lost, which was nice. I'm actually quite liking this. I mean, a bit more theming. This is a pretty good looking one. It's the wrong colour, it needs to blend in a little bit more. No, hang on, what was it called? Wild Florida's with the airboat, isn't it? It's the one with the sugar mill pancake restaurant. DeLeon Springs. I got there in the end. Thanks, Google. But yeah, I mean, the national parks are really nice. I mean, yeah, DeLeon Springs. The national parks are really worth visiting and nice. It's something as well. It's something where you probably do need a car to do because they are not as easily accessible by public transport. Just stick trees on everything here. I really want to do the Everglades at some point as well. It's funny, my mind went blank on the name of that place. It was one of those we were looking at. I was like, oh, Crispy S'more at DeLeon Springs State Park. We're heading there later. Should we rush and say hello? And I thought, that would look really creepy, wouldn't it, if you were like on holiday in Florida and then two complete randoms, well, not complete random, we've chatted to them on Twitter and stuff, but two people just turned up in a state park and went, hiya, it's us. So we just thought, well, we're in the zoo, we've paid to go and do the zoo, we're going to have a nice day here first and then we'll head over in the afternoon. It was a really good day as well. We got to see Fossa, one of my favourite animals. Do alligators frighten me? No. Well, let's just say I wouldn't cross one if they were close, but if I see one in the area, I'm sort of intrigued by its presence. Certainly intrigued, but respectful. I wouldn't run over and try and stick my thumb up its bum or something like that. But, you know, it's like with any animal, you know, like even British wild animals, I wouldn't go and hassle them. I just remain respectful of their rights to exist. That sounds fun. I did cut some footage where we were walking around Port Orleans Riverside, where I said we would be like, we would just jump out of the bushes and say hello to you and scare you half to death. Because when I watched it back, I was like looking at it going, that genuinely sounds just a little bit creepy. Now I'm getting into me scenery. It's funny, there were quite a lot of people like sort of quite a few American-based vloggers that were out in the parks this year when we were there, and because we didn't do Disney, we literally didn't bump into any of them. Alcohol, the cause of and solution to all of life's problems. We really do want to do an airboat ride. It's something that it would just be. It just makes absolute sense for us to do with us being into wildlife. But we did knock one thing off our list this year. We did a dolphin boat trip, which is coming up in a future vlog. That was the Clearwater trip, and it was one of the best days we've had in Florida. One of the best things we ever did. That was my response to Gemma providing me with a surprise trip for Discovery Cove. I booked as a dolphin trip. It's pretty good actually. We were both a little bit tipsy on one of those days in Margaritaville when we've been in Universal Studios, and I happened to notice you could book trips on Google, on their website. So I just booked a trip on and we drove over. We almost didn't make it because of traffic. That was when I found out just how fast a Mustang can go, but yet still somehow managed to drive more or less within the speed limit for the most of the trip. But it was kind of fun to just go, let's go a little bit quicker now. Vroom, we're off. I said Gemma's like a rag doll in the car sometimes when I drive. I'm not a quick driver, but she seems to struggle with me. Just driving at normal speeds and ends up going like this. It's like wacky waving inflatable arm. Check the time. I've still got a bit of time left yet. So my quick half an hour, let's see if I can live stream to our channel, turned into an hour and 10 minutes so far, and that's gone pretty well. I will add rocks the whole way around this if I'm not stopped. The one thing that's really nice on this game is the lighting engine. If I jump in and get some torches, pop some of them down. What's the other one? There's a really nice one. These ones, the Chinese lanterns. And then of course you can change the time. You're supposed to be able to change the time, it's not letting me. Oh, there we go, set lighting. You get some nice atmospheric lighting. If you played a lot of Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, one of the things that everyone said was the best thing about Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 was the lighting, and they did a pretty good job of replicating it on this. Especially when you get down by the water, you get nice reflections and stuff. And now I'm in the water. People have worked on like recreations of Disney parks on this as well. It's just that's way out of my league. I was borne out by this mess. I do feel like it needs some lighting though. I'm not sure how skull lighting fits in, but it's not going to fit. He doesn't like that one. Close enough for now. And there's loads of huge props as well. I think there's a huge pirate ship. There was a huge pirate ship, I don't know what's happened to it. Props, lights, archways, misc. I've lost all the props. Let's have a Kraken monster. Whoa, that's a big Kraken monster. Okay, so if I put that there, it makes more sense than if I put it. Hey up. It's a flying Kraken monster. There we go. Come on. Oh, there me. Busch Gardens or Discovery Cove. Two completely different parks. One of them is very relaxed, chilled out. Lots of, lots of opportunities to have a calming day. And then Busch Gardens is busy and big roller coasters, awesome animals. I really would struggle to pick because I really like both of those parks. It's going to depend on what I want from the day. If I want a quiet, relaxed day, it's Discovery Cove. And Discovery Cove is an awesome, awesome place, as you've hopefully seen from our video. Busch Gardens, though, has some really good animal species, and the educational optional extras that you can pay for, just super good. It's like $30 or something, $40 maybe, to do that one where we ended up target training a tiger, which is just absolute life highlight for me. It was huge tiger. I don't think I've ever seen a tiger quite as big as that, and you were stood within spitting distance of him and splashing distance of some of them as well, because we got one of them jumped in a bath and splashed us. So bit of a cop-out answer, but it's definitely going to be depending on like what I want from a day. I mean, there are options to get Discovery Cove with an add-on which gets you SeaWorld and Busch. We just got Discovery Cove this time with just the SeaWorld add-on. And I think the transport to Busch is free as well still. We used to, even though we hired a car, we used to get the bus to Busch Gardens because it was free and it was a nice chance to have a relax on a busy holiday. On the last trip they started doing free parking, so we just drove over and got lost. we found that, whoa, these fireworks are a bit extreme. We found that there aren't a huge amount of roundabouts in Florida, but we managed to find 3 of them on one road, which is probably quite an impressive feat. And the kind of funny thing with Florida roundabouts is the locals don't know how to use them, but British people tend to. So there we go. I think I'm going to stop now because I've got a few other things to do before I pick Gemma up, mainly get tea ready. But thanks for viewing. It's been fun, and hopefully we'll do a bit more of this thing in future as well. Probably, as I said, we're probably going to look to maybe just do a relaxed live stream where we chat about what we're planning and what foods we're planning, what restaurants we're planning on eating on our table service. So advice will be welcome on that, because we've only ever done one table service in Florida, which is the one we vlogged, which was Be Our Guest. So there's a lot of options out there for us. We've been looking through the menus in quite extensive detail already. We're going to hopefully do that in a more interactive manner at some point in the future. So I'm going to leave it there. So thanks for watching, guys. It's been good fun, and I'll see you soon. And now I need to find out how to stop this thing. So I wasn't much help for you there with the Discovery Cove and the Busch Gardens. Okay then, if pushed, Discovery Cove, it's awesome. It's a once in a lifetime thing, especially if you do the dolphin swim. I'll say hi to Gemma as well. She's in work now. She'll be back later, and she'll probably be bemused by the fact that I've spent half the day playing Planet Coaster instead of tidying the kitchen. Oops. That's one of the things I've got to do now. Anyway, see you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Not really, how do I stop the thing? Oh, there it is. Stop streaming.